Well, I should have started filming this probably about 2 weeks ago when I got the box, but here's what I was wondering why I'm making this haul in the first place. I was wondering if a Mega Cab dually box that's on the 3rd gen Rams was the exact same and had any differences compared to just a normal short box. So my dad's truck, it's just a white regular, or white Mega Cab with just a regular short box on it. And it's rusted to fuck. There's just nothing left of it. So I was trying to find a one for it. Can't find one anywhere except for the guys that are shipping them out of the States. They want like $3,000 for the damn thing. And that just seems outrageous to pay for a used box. It's already missing shit. So, hunting around, and I end up finding this Mega Cab dually box. Because it's the Mega Cab, it doesn't have the long box. It's got the short box, but it's dually. So, from what I looked up, all Dodges, especially before whatever year they swapped, 2009 and 10, anything that's a dually, they would just bolt on fender flares. It's not actually integrated into the box itself. So I was like, well, that should be all right. You just unbolt the fenders. And I tried looking up on the internet if there was any other differences, and I found pretty much sweet fuck all. So I don't know if just people aren't posting it, if this is common knowledge, or if I just didn't look hard enough. I had the patience of like a fucking butterfly, so I just didn't care to look around that much. But anyway, I ended up finding one for a pretty good deal. That was the right color, pretty good shape. And it's a dually one, so I was like, oh, I'll just pull the fender flares off. Ended up buying it, and this is what I should have filmed is last time when I took the flares off. But anyway, the flares are off now, so we're gonna have a look at it here. It's fucking ripping. So as you can see right away, there is something that is missing. Turns out underneath these flares, which, I mean, these are all beat to shit anyway. That's why the box was pretty cheap. But everything else, you know, a little surface rust is fuck all. I can buff that out and it'll be under rock garden flares anyway. But it's this that is the problem. I had no idea that on these dually Mega Cab boxes, underneath the flares, there was this cutout. On both sides, too. I don't know what the purpose of that is or why they did it. The rest, you know, that's all just the holes from where the flare was bolted on, which they were a bit of a mess to get in. This one's on the bottom, so I'm just gonna leave it. There's a little pressure plate nuts. They're kind of shit. But anyway, whatever. They're out. We can weld those up. We'll fill them, no problem. So where the wiring harness is for the lights and the flare, which you can get to from the back pretty easy. So I'm thinking we're just gonna cut a piece out and we'll weld it in there. We'll weld those other holes. This debacle here, though, is something I was not expecting, but he runs those wide bushwhacker fender flares on the truck, and he wants them back on this box when it's done too. So from what I measure, there's only about, at the biggest part along in here, I think there's only 3 inches missing. So what I'm hoping is, you put on that fender flare, they cover like 3.5. That will have enough lip above here on top of this. We don't even have to worry about it. We could just stick a little screw through pretty much right where they got these spot welds. You can see them almost all the way along. It should be just below them spot welds, and that should be all right. And then, yeah, rest of it's not bad shape though. We're gonna give it a go and see what happens. It had the DSP rails, so the slide-in fifth wheel rails, and Dad's got the Reese rails in it, so none of these fucking rail holes are gonna line up. Didn't have a tailgate either, but I found one at the old pick and pull. It's all Linexed already though. Just a little bit of surface rust. But anyway, if anyone was wondering, yeah, underneath dually flares, there's definitely quite a difference right there. And I don't know, you could probably cut something out and roll it and fuck around to get this to match and all that, but. All right, so after a full day of grinding, a couple days of grinding, a lot of grinding and being bent over and just writing my back off more or less. This is where we've got to so far. We've also got a dump of snow since then, which has been right on, but ground down, wire brushed an entire inside of the box, basically everywhere we could, and gave her a coat with the old rubber coating, or box liner, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, undercoated it, to say the least. On this side, we've got all the holes filled all the way along. I'm not exactly the best welder, but we just got the little MIG set up with a couple little patch panels, so I just cut it out and then welded it in. Same with that great big one over there, just cut out a piece, welded it in. And the little holes I just welded solid, ground them down flat. They're gonna get properly finished up. I'm not going to leave it like that. We'll get some Bondo over top, that fine top coat stuff, and smooth it all out, prime it up, give her a paint. I think the plan is from the body line down, so I guess up here, he wants to do I think just some rock guard or box liner or something like that. So that's probably going to be what we do. So I think for like this stuff up on top, we're just going to give it a little bit of a sand. Nothing too serious. We'll just take it down to the metal, a little primer, then we'll just get it all right for the rock guard whenever he's looking to get that done. Okay, everything's filled, everything's grind. See how she's looking. It's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. And really these days, not bad. Fuck it, that's all we're looking for. But they're all filled in. They need cleaned up and stuff, but everything's welded out. Nice. Pretty solid, honestly. There's not really anywhere there's any holes. We filled it all good. All right, so we got lucky. We got her in the shop now. So started sanding down on here, and you can see, you know, the groove of where there's a little bit that needs filled. And you can piss around and weld that out and grind it and blah, 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 and get it flat. But it's so close. It's so much easier just to hit her with a little bit of filler just on every one of those, and, you know, they'll level right out. Like, it's not even that bad. If you look down at, there's just the tiniest little indents. But anyway, so we started sanding on that side. And over here, you can see I started sanding the top too. I do these ones here. I find it's kind of nice to leave, like how you can see the marks of the grinding wheel, like it's just a little rough. If you leave those, and then once you're sanding it with your sander, like pretty much when they're out is when you're bang on, you know, with some 80 grits, kind of all you're looking for just to put the filler on. So once you get those taken away and you blend everything all in nice, like how those look, they all need clean still, of course, but after it gets blended in, it's pretty much perfect. And then we'll get rid of this nasty spot here too and get her primed. All right, it's not perfect, but that's the way this whole project's gonna go. Got the little bit of filler on, just real thin. It's all you need. Just filling in those little imperfections right around where it was a little low from welding. Just when it's this thin, it don't really matter. You don't gotta weld it out perfect, I don't find anyway. We got this straightened back out, so we'll buff that all up once we're in the process of cleaning everything. Give her a coat, away we go. All right, so this side's finished up here. Well, it needs painted obviously, but still a few little imperfections, but we got it all sanded down and got it primed. It's looking not bad. We'll get it painted right up. Side here, we had to come back after the primer. There was a couple, well, obviously bigger low spots here due to some damage that was on this side of the box. This is the passenger side, and the passenger side of the truck had made contact with the moose before I bought the box off the wrecked truck. So we kind of had a little crinkle action going on up in here and over in here. So it took a little extra bit to kind of get that cleaned up, and you know, none of this is thick or anything, but it was just enough to kind of hopefully smooth it out and get the transition of that body line looking a little bit better. So the top filler, that gray, and then the real fine, I think they call it like pinhole filler or something. That's the red stuff there. And it's just, if you got imperfections after sanding it, like little gaps where there was air or something, you spread that on real thin, like in these little spots you can see right there, like a little hole like that. You'll just fill that in and just smooth it right up. And wow, we had a pretty good mess there. That's where that body line transitions. So a little extra in there just to kind of take away any of them bumps, so that when you give it that high build primer, it'll be a nice smooth finish. So once that cures, we'll sand it down again, and then yeah, put another layer of primer. You can see all along here that there's, no, it's fucking messing up the spot welds all the way along, pretty much the whole thing. I'm not going to worry about that, because when we put the fender flares on, they're going to cover, so you won't be able to see any of that. And then, like I said, from this body line down is going to be rock guarded. So I buffed out and neutralized all the rust that was up on top of those, and then after putting that rust neutralizer spray on, Gave her a couple shots of the primer, and then we'll prime the whole thing another 3 or 4 coats. It's only got about 2 on it, just because I want to see how these 2 spots were going to look, and well, I was right, they needed more work. So after this, we'll get her cleaned up and then really give it to it with the primer, and then we'll paint it hopefully this afternoon. Buddy, you take them fenders off and she's having a rough fucking day. A little bit of stance is kind of deadly though. But buddy, oh, she's hurting. No matter how fucked I make this, I think it's still gonna be an upgrade. If you stand like all the way back here, I mean, that looks pretty fucking deadly. Looks good from a mile away on horseback. Well, we didn't get a whole lot filmed because the father-in-law came and helped with the skid steer to swap it, so just kind of hammered it out. But here it is finished. Awesome enough it's raining now, so hopefully that doesn't completely destroy the clear coat. Didn't plan on it raining so fast, but oh well, we needed the truck, so we got the flares mounted. I really wanted to pull one of these bolts out up here and put like a proper one in, but just wasn't enough room for it, so it's all good. We just put some longer self-tappers in. I actually got mud flaps for it, which is good. Had to fix a leak in that tire, it had a screw in it, so got that in. But anyway, got her all in. We got to mount the 5th wheel rails still. They're just loose, flopping around in the back. Oh yeah, pins came out too, awesome. But we'll get those mounted up here once it quits raining. New tail lights are on. They look sick. We changed out the bumper too, had a black bumper that was in better shape. This is obviously that other tailgate, but it needs a wash. We'll give it a clean after the clear coat sits a little longer, even though it's raining on, so whatever is going to happen is probably already happened. But it's turned out pretty good. Sure makes the rest of the truck look like shit where it's rust down there, but you know, there's a little bit of imperfection. You can still see some of the dents and stuff that it had from before, but overall it's a lot better than it was. Wasn't too bad to do. Probably be a lot easier to just get a normal box rather than a dually box and try to make it work in there, but whatever, it's half the price. I think they wanted, what I said at the beginning, they wanted like $3,500 or something for a rust-free box from down stateside. This cost us a grand total of $1,600. Now, granted, I had a lot of the prep stuff already, so you know, I didn't have to spend a lot of money there. Biggest thing was paint plus the cost of the box, and then we reused the fenders. Had to buy some mud flaps. Taillights we already had, bumper we already had. We had everything pretty much except the box. But anyway, that's her. She's all done. Next project, we'll get this all fixed up.